I want to get your take on the NFC East.
The NFC East, to me, I can sum it up really quick, man. It's amazing how people's judgment of Joe Judge was so off, because everybody said Joe Judge was just a Belichick clone, and in reality, Joe Judge actually was kind of his own man, and he was doing what he needed to do for his team. And it's taken him a bit, and Saquon Barkley got hurt. But if you're looking at who in that division is playing the best, it's the Giants. And it's because of Joe Judge, and the team is starting to kind of take his personality and character, and it's because of their defense, led by Patrick Graham, has been outstanding. And if Peyton Manning clone Daniel Jones can stay healthy, man, they'll win that division.
So we've been talking about Joe Judge, but I feel like the only thing that we give him credit for is, like, we just know that he's a hard-nosed guy, that he was doing things like making people run laps. He was an old-school football guy type guy. He tried to fight his offensive line coach. But from like a schematic standpoint, from a football standpoint, what is he doing better now than he was doing at the start of the season?
Well, it's the classic case, and it's no different than anybody who has a job in America. I want to accentuate what I do well and minimize what I do poorly. So if Big Cat would ever take a job where he had to take his shirt off, that would be accentuate what he doesn't do well. So Joe Judge is doing the opposite of that. So he's making sure that they run the football, they play defense, they don't turn the football over. And as long as they do that, man, Patrick Graham is a very good defensive coordinator. They play a lot of man-to-man. Leonard Williams, who was with the Jets up there, now he's with the Giants. He's playing well. Dexter Lawrence, he's playing well. The cornerbacks, the guys on the back end are playing well. So they are just getting the best and maximizing their talent defensively. And offensively, they're just kind of hanging on and not making mistakes, man. And so far, over the last 4 weeks, I believe they won 4 in a row. It's working.
Sounds like he might be a candidate for Coach of the Year, but you gave it to Mike Tomlin already.
Yes. Now, just because you won 4 in a row, I'm not going to discard those 7 L's you took early in the season, so let's not go crazy here.
What about Kevin Stefanski, though? What about Kevin Stefanski? You had Tomlin and Flores as your 1-2. I would say Kevin Stefanski getting the Browns the most wins they've had in 20 years should be in the conversation.
So here's where I would just push back on Stefanski. If I ask you, of those 3 teams we just talked about, Steelers, Dolphins, and Browns, in order of talent, which team is the most talented?
Steelers.
Most football, Steelers, and then Browns, and then Dolphins. So Stefanski getting the talent to play well, like, I'll give him credit, but that's a talented football team. The offensive line is as good as there is in football. I know OBJ's hurt, but Baker, a former number 1 pick in the draft, you got Jarvis Landry. So Kevin has got a lot to work with. Brian Flores, like, nobody thought the Dolphins were going to be in this situation. Everybody said they were basically tanking when they took Fitzmagic out and you put Tua in, and all they've done is just continue to win. And I think the game on January the 3rd between the Dolphins and the Bills is going to decide the AFC East.
So I just mousetrapped you because the Giants have clearly the least amount of talent of all those teams. They're a team that they have lost the most games in the last, I think it's 4 or 5 years in the NFL, and now Joe Judge has them on the precipice of winning the division and going to the playoffs. So you just got mousetrapped. Thank you for voting for my guy, Joe Judge.
Luckily, I grew up in a country where I had several mice in the house, and I know how to trap mice. And if you go back to my original statement, you cannot give somebody who lost 7 games already the Coach of the Year just because he won 4 in a row. That's like saying, you know what, man, I lost 30 pounds in the last 3 months, and then, oh, yeah, but I gained 60 the previous 4 months before. So really it's a net 30 on the gain column. So I can't give you Coach of the Year for that.
I would disagree with that because I think most of the time guys would quit on a team when you start that bad. To get them back, I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but what about the best 1-10 team of all time? Kyle Shanahan should have won Coach of the Year that year.
Absolutely.
They win 5 in a row to end the season. That's my Coach of the Year.
Listen. Hey, the best 1-10 team, if Kyle Shanahan was your Coach of the Year at 1-10, then right now Adam Gase should probably be the runaway winner for you right now.
I mean, he fired Dr. Heat, so that's like, yes, in the last 4 days, Adam Gase is my NFL Coach of the Year until he plays another game.
That was you can't make a better decision as a coach than to fire Dr. Heat.
Genius. So wait, but you said that that Brian Flores and the Dolphins, because they have so little talent and they had so little. Well, who was the coach of the Dolphins last year?
Last year, 2 years ago, it was Adam Gase.
Whoa.
But no, last year.
Last year.
So what you're saying is like, you're saying you can give a guy credit for getting a good season immediately after a bad one because of all the improvement, but you can't split this season into 2 seasons and say second half Joe Judge, coach of the year. Mousetrap. How's your neck?
Mousetrap. Okay, great. So if we're going to invent a new award and call it the second half Mousetrap Coach of the Year, then I'm voting for Joe Judge.
Okay, there we go.
Coach of the year.
All right. We'll get out of the Mousetraps. Booger, I had one last question. The final question is brought to you by Cross Country Mortgage, America's crazy good mortgage company. Go to ccmlens.com/take to learn more about your future home buying experience or refinancing needs. Equal housing opportunity. MVP. It's not Rodgers. Just stop.
It is. And here's the reason I say that. Is because if we're going to judge the MVP based off what you've done and how great you've been, don't we have to judge Mahomes off what he did his MVP year when he threw 50 touchdowns and he was just absolutely outstanding? Because Aaron Rodgers right now is putting up career numbers. So he's doing something that he's never done before.
I don't know about that. I feel like he had an MVP season where he was insane and had like 2 interceptions the entire year.
I think he's only got 4 now, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think that he's had years. I think he's had years like this before. I'll push back on that. I just think Mahomes, he's just so goddamn good and he's so consistent. And they're just like, when you watch Mahomes, he is the MVP of the league. He's the best player in the league, without a doubt in my mind, and he's the MVP in my mind.
Okay, so I want to ask you this, because I think Mahomes has entered the LeBron category, whereas he's clearly the best player in the league, and you could give it to him every year, but doesn't he have to do something special by his standards to get the MVP? Like LeBron should have won the MVP this year, but they gave it to Giannis based on Giannis having a career year for Giannis. And I think when you look at Mahomes, Mahomes is the best player in the league. I agree. You and I are sharing a brain. But is it a career year for him? I don't think so.
What about Baby Fireball?
Rodgers went 45-6, 45 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 4,600 yards in 2011. That was his career year.
Well, he's kind of on pace to do that right now.
Yeah. No, well, he's got 36.
Yeah.
No, he's got more he'll have more interceptions. He's got 4 interceptions already. So
he's kind of on pace.
Right, but he's already done it.
Right.
So it's not going to be a career year. He's already done it.
It's going to be about equal to a career
year. Right, but we can't judge Mahomes on 50 touchdowns every single year.
I don't know about having Patrick Mahomes compete against former Patrick Mahomes for the current year.
Right, and Rodgers is not going to – he might not even beat former Rodgers if we're doing the same standard.
Well, he's pretty close. And as far as your
15 games, by the way.
So why don't we give – how about we give the
So he won't beat it,
MVP
He
award.
won't beat it.
We can give the MVP award to 2011 Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, there you go. Because he won't beat it. Because he's what? He played 12 games already? So he'd have to throw 11 more touchdowns in just 3 games. I mean, maybe he will, but I would say that 2011 will probably be better.
Well, he's got 4 games left. I'm saying there's another 15 touchdowns in there maybe.
I'm saying in 2011 he only played 15 games. He didn't play all 16.
Yeah, okay. Nobody cares about the small details. All right, nobody worries about that.
Well, I do. I don't want him winning a fucking MVP.
Big Cat just doesn't